This video is all about how many songs you need to produce before you'll make it as an artist. So this is actually drawing from statistics from real artists that made it, and the average number of songs they actually produced before they actually made it into mainstream success. So the way I want to start out this video is with a really depressing statistic. So there in 2022, there were 16 number one hits, and there were roughly 22 million songs released on Spotify that year. So basically, that means you have a 1 in 1,400,000 chance of actually getting a number one hit on the Billboard Top 100. So now that you're nice and depressed, on the flip side, you don't necessarily need a Billboard Top 1 hit to be successful. There are a ton of artists out there making well over six figures that have never had a Billboard Top 100 hit. I've worked with some of them, so I know firsthand that it's completely possible to have a career in music without any mainstream success. Ever, right? So a lot of these artists kind of come out of the woodwork, find their niche audience, and that's it. They don't grow into mainstream successes, but that's okay because they're earning $300K plus a year personally, take home pay. They're earning from this niche audience that, yeah, maybe they have 1 million monthly listeners, but they don't have any mainstream success. They're not Beyonce. They're not Taylor Swift. They're just a kind of a niche artist that is, independent or maybe semi-independent. Maybe they have a manager, but they don't have all of the major resources that a major label necessarily has. Let's bring it back. How many releases do you think it takes to break an artist? On average, there are 42 releases, public releases from an artist before they have any sort of mainstream success. That might be an encouraging number, or that might be a really depressing number based on how many releases you have out there. And again, that's the average. Some artists, it's going to take a lot more than that. Other artists, it's going to take a few less. I would say that there's very few artists that ever break it before at probably 25. Because it just takes time to refine those skills and get feedback on the songs that you're producing to know if they're actually good or not. Another note is that that 42 is public official releases. The actual songs that they produced and either released unofficially or were produced, at least in the background, we're probably in the ballpark of 50 to 100 songs, right? And so if you think about that, okay, if I produce 50 to 100 songs and then release most of those, then I will probably then be able to get some of this mainstream success that other artists have. How long do you think it would take to produce 50 to 100 songs? Quite a while. I mean, if you're doing, let's just say one song a month, which I think is reasonable for most people. You could put together one song a month if you're really, going after it. Sometimes more if you're, depending on what genre you are and if you're producing your own song or having other people produce you. That means that you would still take 4 years to produce your first 50 songs. Maybe 8 years if you're trying to go for the full 100 before you can make it. That is a lot of songs, and you might experience some small wins here and there producing that much material, but overall, most people aren't going to wait 4 years for success as an artist, even though everybody says, like, I will die to be an artist. But they're not really. They're not willing to put in the actual effort of 4 years of hard work, putting a song out every single month for 4 years to ultimately make it. And ultimately, it's not necessarily about the volume of work. It's not about the volume of songs that's put out there. It's really about the process of testing, refining, and improving your skills to produce the music itself. This whole principle is the principle that I built my music management agency off of. So my music management agency, Night Owl Music Group, we take brand new artists or artists that are really struggling, and we can get over 100,000 plus streams on their very first release working with us because of this testing, refining process. We've basically figured out how to shortcut the process so we don't have to wait for 50 releases. We can actually do it on the very first release because we test which songs are going to actually perform well, and then we refine that song to make it the best version of that song itself, and then we produce and release it. And so we basically know it's going to be a hit banger song to push an artist into that mainstream success well before they've truly, quote, earned it, unquote, because we're able to go through this process. And so we are extremely proud that we basically cut out 4 years of hard work and we condense that into a single release. So if you're interested in that at all, I've left some more information in the description of the video. You can click on the first link that will bring you to a page where it kind of explains exactly what we do and how we actually get those incredible results for our artists. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click that link right in the description. It's really about the effort and the iterative practice and working on those skills to actually become good enough to get that sort of success. Because most people are frustrated thinking that, oh, Spotify is out to get me and they're stealing all my royalties. But honestly, you haven't earned those royalties yet because you haven't put in the time to write songs good enough to do that. And if that sounds harsh, then I can't help you. Anyway, with that said, thanks for watching this video. Leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Is that, 50 to 100 songs encouraging, or is it really depressing to you? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching this video, and I will catch you in the next one.